often, if not ever, they're open for train rides during the holiday vacation week. Joining me from the Conway Scenic right now is Susan Logan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, am I right? Is this the first time ever?
In the 36 years of Conway Scenic Railroad's business, yes, it's the first time. In the old days, of course, the freight trains and the passenger trains ran year-round, but this is the first year of tourist train excursions.
So if you're looking for something unique and exciting to do here in the White Mountains this whole vacation week, this is a perfect
It's
opportunity.
a nice alternative. We recognized in recent years that obviously there are a lot of people in town this week. Not everyone skis every day, not everyone skis all day. So we're offering 2 departures a day, one at 11:30 that goes to Bartlett, and that's about an hour and 3/4, and the 1:30 excursion goes to Conway, and that's about an hour.
Now you're going to mess up my calendar here because I tell the season by whether or not I can hear the train whistle from my house. That's a sign of spring and summer for me when I hear the train whistle. The other night,
Not anymore, Chris.
Yesterday, I hear the train whistle. I say, oh, spring is here.
Yeah.
And it was the snowiest day of the year. We're looking at some shots of the train running through the snow. And now, describe the excursions. You mentioned there's one in the morning and one in the afternoon. What's the ride like when they take the Conway Scenic?
The 11:30 goes to Bartlett, as I mentioned, and we equate that with over the river and through the woods, kind of. Although this time of the year, with all the leaves gone, the vistas are opened up more, but it crosses over the the Ellis River and the Saco and ends up in Bartlett Village. And that, again, takes about an hour and 3/4.
Okay, so that's actually a nice ride, and then the afternoon one will take you to Conway?
Right, and that, of course, parallels Route 16 for the first part of the trip. So you get to see the strip on the east side of the train, and out the west, though, is the golf course and the mountain range. And once we get beyond the southern end of the strip and get into Hussey's Fields and the farmlands, and the vistas open up on all sides.
It's interesting. I have a 3-year-old son who loves the trains, and we've ridden on it several times in the summer. The trip to Conway, I've lived here for a long time, and I feel pretty confident in my geography, but when you take the ride on the train, you kind of almost get lost. Even for someone who's lived here, you find yourself saying, where am I? Where are you trying to figure out exactly where?
Right. It parallels Route 16, and then once you get into Hussey's Field, you're more down on the West Side Road territory. And it crosses West Side Road and then goes. It's people at the intersections are waving, and the people on the train wave,
right.
And it's really an old-fashioned family-type experience. The Conway ride tends to be more popular with people with young children. Under 6 or so, that it's about an hour, that the time is right for short attention spans.
Exactly. For a 3-year-old, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And actually, he's even fallen asleep a couple times on the way back, which is its own added bonus.
The rhythm of the rails.
Well, it's a unique perspective. It's something different that obviously hasn't been around in a long time, but it also you feel like you're kind of back in the days when train travel was, the way to get around.
The only way.
It takes you back.
Yeah, and we have a number of seating options, both whichever train you take, it has the same train car consist, and that includes an 1898 Pullman parlor observation car, which is absolutely gorgeous. It has stained glass windows. That's a first-class car. Stained glass windows, mahogany paneling, wicker seats, individual seats that face the windows. We have our dome car, which has the lower sections considered first class. The upper dome is premier seating. We only have 24 seats, and that, you've seen the dome car. It's the whole roof is glass, so it's a 360-degree view. And then we have the typical, what you associate with train travel, the bench seat cars, which are the coach cars.
Now, is the train station going to be open throughout the day?
It's open from 10:30 to about 3 o'clock.
Okay, because that'll be great for winter tourists. So many times I've seen people who are on vacation here during the winter, and you always see them standing outside taking pictures of themselves in front of the train station. Now, even in the winter, you can actually go inside and check it out.
In past years, when We have an old station, obviously, 1874, with old doors that really rattle when people try to open them. And all week long, we could hear the rattling doors, people trying to, so we figured, what the heck, we might as well open up and let them come in. The gift shop's there, we have a small museum.
Which is fascinating in itself, the museum, and that's where you can just step inside, browse the old photos.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely amazing to see not only how the Mount Washington Valley used to be, but what the Conway Scenic Railroad has, how they've
expanded
and renovated these trains. You look at some of the photos of the trains you have running now, what they were and what you've made them. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So.
We have a lot of toys in our yard.
Oh, and you see the engineers and the conductors, and they're like kids when you go there. The big smiles on their face. I think it's many young boys' dream to grow up to work at a place like the Conway Scenic.
We see that on. We have a lot of people who return. Most of our people return year after year, but every year we do hire a couple of new people, and on their applications, typically they're older people, retired, and they always love trains, and they don't even care what they're paid. They just want to be on the train.
Right, that would be an added bonus.
Yeah.
You have some events coming up as well. There is an event called Steam in the Snow coming up.
Yes, that is our last excursion, our last event and our last excursion of the year. That's on Sunday. That is almost sold out, though there are still some tickets left. That is an all-day excursion led by our 1920 steam engine number 7470 that goes up to and past the Notchland Inn into Crawford Notch. It goes up without stopping, and on the way back there are 6 or 7 photo run-bys. So people get off the train backs up and then comes again, people can take shots. Even if the train sells out, this is a special charter. It's not an event operated by us. It's chartered by the Massachusetts Bay Railroad Enthusiast Club. And they also sell chase packages for $25 or $30, and you get a map telling you exactly where the train is going to be stopping for the photo run-bys.
That's great.
So for shutterbugs out there who might want to just, and now we do have steam in the snow versus just steam in the cold.
Snow is an important ingredient. We did that last year. We took photos of the steam engine in the snow, and now they're hanging up on my son's wall. If people want more information on that, can they get it at your website?
Absolutely, conwayscenic.com, or they can call the station. Local numbers 603-356-5251. If you're interested in steam in the snow on Sunday, ask for Sandy. She's at extension 12. Our 800 number is 1-800-232-5251.
And get your Conway Scenic fix this week, because after this week, we're talking about spring trains.
Mid-April.
Okay, so the first time in 30-something years, get out.
36.
36. Yes. She has been paying attention to her own interview. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Happy holidays to everyone.
And we'll see you on the trains. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with one last watch and win and a recap of our weather forecast.
Oh, there's nothing very much about